Hello again, guys. I have the distinct pleasure of sitting here with the new Bones from the new Star Trek movie, Karl Urban. How are you doing, mate?
Very well, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Now, we both saw the movie last night. What did you think?
Well, I just saw it last night for the first time, and it literally took me about half an hour to decompress. I was, as a long-term Trek fan, really quietly, humbly, really pleased with the film and everybody's performances. Above all, really thrilled to see that it maintained a real authenticity to what Gene Roddenberry had created in the 60s, that it was and is a character-driven movie, and you care about these characters, and you're along for the ride, and you've just never seen a Star Trek film quite like this. So yeah, I'm very, very happy.
I have to agree like that. This is, a Star Trek like you've never seen Star Trek before.
Yeah, I don't know. I asked JG last night. I was like, what have you done? I've never seen space or spaceships or anything quite done like that. I still couldn't get a clear answer out of him. I don't know what he's done, but it's I've got to see the film again.
Now, with the exception of Eric Bana, who plays a new character, you guys had a massive challenge and what must have been a very imposing kind of job of stepping into the shoes of very, very well-loved characters and very respected actors from the original series. What was it like, sort of bringing your bones to the screen?
Well, to tell you the truth, it would be a lie not to say that it was a little bit daunting, because, I have absolute respect for not only Mr. Kelly, but, Mr. Shatner and Mr. Nimoy and all of the actors in the original TV series. So, to get given the opportunity to, to resurrect something that was so dear to me in my childhood was... I felt it was a huge responsibility. Now,
Bones is probably one of the most fun characters to play. He's the foil for Kirk and Spock, and keeping them grounded, and just the comedic moments and opportunities are wonderful. Did you have a lot of input in that?
Yeah, here's the great thing about, J.J. Abrams is one of the most brilliantly gifted directors I've ever worked with, and he reminds me a lot of Peter Jackson. He creates this fun, loose, funny atmosphere, but yet it's hyper-focused, and he's very open to any suggestions or creatively. If you have an idea for a line or a movement or something, he's open to it, which is just all you can ask for. And on top of that, though, he throws you the funniest lines and things that he says, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you say this or do this? And it's so on the money. He's a really, really genius, brilliant director.
Now, the new film brings a sort of an energy and pace and vivacity to Star Trek that wasn't really there in the original series or in a lot of the follow-up series. It was very sort of serious, but there's so much more energy in this version, this rebirth of it. Was that the same kind of mood on the set?
The set was fun. The set was, I have actually never laughed so much on a job as I have on this. Between Chris Pine and JJ and Quinto and John Cho, they are all hilarious people. And, it was a battle actually to try and get it straight before the take, because we were just pissing ourselves the whole time. We had a lot of fun.
Was there a prankster on set?
Actually, there's a lot. There was a lot. I remember one day that when Zach Quinto came up behind JJ with one of those spray bottles, just a little aerosol thing, and went, "Achoo!" and then just did the spray thing, and JJ's in the middle of doing some complex directing thing. He's just there going, it's like what I have to deal with. But we're a really good group of people.
So, did you grow up with Trek? Was it the original series next?
Yeah, I was into Trek when I was a boy, into the original series. They used to show it on TVs at Saturdays at like 11 o'clock. I always used to tune in, and then I caught subsequent series and shows. Next Generation and Voyager. Went to every movie. So I feel a little bit like one of the lunatics who's getting the opportunity to run the asylum. So it meant a lot to me.
All right, the ever-present Trek question: Kirk or Picard? Who's the better captain?
Oh, see, I just can't see. I don't do good on the biased questions. I'm completely unbiased. Kirk's the original. And he just has that, amazing proactive, brash, sexy leadership style, you know, and Picard is he's just a strong force, resonant sounding board, morally centered. Yes, they both have you know, admirable qualities. If you could mix the two, I think you'd have the perfect captain.
Was there any particular character in when you were watching Star Trek growing up? Was there someone you especially related to?
No, not particularly. I liked them all, and that was the great thing about Star Trek. And I think that's one of the things that this film goes a long way to achieve, is that it was character driven. You just get these bunch of completely different guys and girls together on this ship from all these different countries and nations and cultures, and throw them into situations and then throw a bad guy at them and see how they, you know, try and work together to defeat him. And you know, it was for me anyway, Star Trek was always more about a cult of personality over science fiction, and I think that's something that that JJ and the wonderful cast of this film has done admirably well.
Are we looking forward to coming back to the character?
Oh, definitely. I would definitely. If we are fortunate enough to, if the film goes over as well as we all hope it does, then I would definitely love the opportunity to come back and portray Bones again.
Yeah. What would you, or how would you define the difference between your Dr. McCoy and what DeForest Kelley
Oh God, that's a difficult question. Yeah. I don't know if I could be truly objective on that, but I tell you, what really appealed to me about the character is here is this cantankerous, irascible, gruff doctor who underneath that has this absolute heart of gold, who's a real altruist, a humane, caring, most loyal friend in the universe, and he's got the most appalling bedside manner, but it's his actions that actually define him, and that, as an actor, that's really fun to play.
I have to admit, I cracked up every time you jammed that hyper spray into Kirk's.
Oh yeah.
You get it behind him.
Yeah, it's funny actually, because when we were shooting it, there's a sort of little bit of friendly push and shove between Chris and myself, because he had these big rubber hands. Yeah. And in one scene he'd come and like slap him on my face, and it got progressively harder and harder through the takes. And so it's like I got my payback when I came to the hyperspray. It's like, it's like, and I could see like the
little line of bruises down the neck.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's all good.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And the movie, loved it. So
awesome. Thank you.